This movie is based on a 2005 Danish film of the same name. It tells a story about a war veteran named William Sharp who's desperate for money to cover his wife's medical bills. He reaches out to his estranged adoptive brother and lifelong criminal Danny, who offers him $32 million in the biggest bank heist in Los Angeles history. The heist goes wrong, forcing the siblings to make their getaway in an ambulance with paramedic Cam Thompson and a bleeding policeman as hostages. First of all, this movie has an interesting premise. It promises fantastic thrill ride combined with huge tension and great set pieces. Unfortunately, this movie only gives you plenty of explosions, slow motion action, big CGI set pieces, and all stuff of stunning visuals and sound effects. There's simply no tension or suspense from the story and characters. The story itself is pretty much standard and unmemorable. There's nothing new in the story here, which is really unfortunate as the premise is actually interesting. The characters of Will and Danny as good thief and bad thief, as well as the scenarios they face in this film, are mediocre at best. For a serious story of two brothers robbing a bank and fighting their way to escape, we need something more profound and characters we want to root for, which is unfortunately not the case in this movie. The dialogue between characters is also subpar. Most of the interactions are pretentious, especially among gang members. There's hardly any conversation in this movie that is interesting. Even the silly jokes feel forced and overkill. Having said that, it's not that this movie has no entertainment factor at all. It has some. Unfortunately, it's rather sporadically entertaining thanks to few of the good set pieces. There's still a problem regarding camera movements and choppy editing that often becomes a distraction. The director seems to be heavily obsessed with drone shots this time around, and here he isn't just content in limiting it for establishing shots. This drone camera is a hit and miss, some drone shots looking good, while others feel like a distracting show off. The camera sometimes is darting through the air and the lens flares block everything else. What's the point if some of the scenes, particularly during the chaotic moments, look visually incomprehensible to the point it's difficult to see what's going on? This becomes ironic as the emotional scenes with Will, Danny, and Cam are more impactful than all the massive shootouts. Overall, this is more or less typical Michael Bay movie. If you're only expecting action and set pieces, then it's probably worth for you to see this in theaters. But if you're expecting a fantastic story with good suspense and thrill to go along with the good set pieces, just skip this movie and wait on your streaming service instead.